The secrets of the sea can only be shown to those who dare enter into her realm on her terms. Only those that can defy the limitations of human existence and enter into the ocean without the assistance of artificial breathing devices can experience this watery world with the same intensity of all other marine creatures. The sea holds the secrets to our evolutionary past. It is in her waters that first life emerged to populate dry land. Throughout the eons, the species adapted to their new world, but deep within their genetic code remains the knowledge of their aquatic origin. Our human existence mimics the evolution of our planet. We begin in a liquid environment to be born 9 months later into our dry world. The aim of the freediver is to regain contact with our primordial being and uncover the aquatic potential that exists in all of us. This contact is achieved by a oneness with the sea and profound meditation. One must be convinced of the power of the spirit and of the memory that dwells within to travel back in the course of life and discover our aquatic ancestor. This is the destiny of the freediver: to tap into the ancient memories left behind by evolution and return to the cradle of life, the ocean. It is through this experience that the freediver becomes one with the creatures of the abyss. Freediving allows one to come in direct contact with nature on its own terms. There are no obstructions or mechanical devices that place a distance between man and nature. The freediving explorers are not invaders. Life comes to them and flaunts its mysteries before their eyes. This is the destiny of Pipin Ferreras and Audrey Mestre Ferreras, two people enmeshed with the aquatic world, who will lend us their perspective to discover the world beneath the sea. Modern freediving has evolved into a complex and exciting sport that has seized the attention of the public and allowed their imagination to plunge into the dark recesses of the ocean. The freediving tradition found two great figures in Enzo Mallorca and Jack Mayol. Their rivalry brought public attention to the sport and excitement to the world of diving. Freediving now has two new champions in the sport: Pipin Ferreras and Audrey Mestre Ferreras, who have found in their sport and in their lives the bonds that join them. There are many highlights in their freediving careers. March 1996 in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, Pipin reaches a depth of 426 feet. In November of the same year, Pipin returns to repeat his feat and reaches a depth of 439 feet. It is here in Cabo San Lucas that Pipin meets Audrey, and they begin a life journey that will bring them many rewards. After rigorous training with Pipin, Audrey debuts in the freediving world in May 1997 in Grand Cayman. The results are amazing. On her first professional dive, she breaks the French women's record by reaching the depth of 262 feet. And Pipin also breaks new ground on this occasion by reaching the incredible depth of 497 feet by means of an innovative two-breath technique that he developed. June 6, 1998. On this day, a new experiment would unfold. Pipin and Audrey, live in front of the eyes of the world, would embark on the first tandem freedive in history. This dive was transmitted live to the World Expo in Lisbon and then relayed to all Latin America and Europe. With this dive, Audrey reached a depth of 377 feet, breaking the women's world record. This is the first time two records are broken simultaneously, the tandem record and the women's freediving record. With the beginning of the new millennium, a new challenge was set: to be the undisputed world record holders in no limits freediving. The first challenge would take place in Cozumel, Mexico, where despite unfavorable conditions, Pipin Ferreras was able to amply surpass the record for the deepest dive by reaching the incredible depth of 531.5 feet. Following this amazing ordeal, Audrey Mestre Ferreras would also strive to assert her dominance in the field. On May 13, 2000, she plunged into the frigid waters off the Canary Islands in the North Atlantic to reach the depth of 413 feet, becoming not only the women's world record holder for no limits deep diving, but became only the fifth person to have reached that depth. And now, the adventure into the deep continues in Fort Lauderdale. Greater Fort Lauderdale features more than 23 miles of beaches, which were the first to be nominated as Blue Wave Beaches by the National Clean Beaches Council, and boasts more than 69 miles of a spectacular three-tiered natural reef system, in addition to 80 artificial reefs created through a carefully developed program. For these reasons, Greater Fort Lauderdale has received top destination awards for advanced diving, wreck diving, topside attractions, and overall value in diving from Rodale Scuba Diving Magazine and Scuba Month, recognizing it as one of the best dive destinations in North America. The ideal place for Pipin and Audrey's records. It was here, in Fort Lauderdale, on May 18, 2001, that Pipin and Audrey, aboard the Aquacat, would arrive to the spot where they would perform their first dive. With the help of Mares, Seiko, and the Greater Fort Lauderdale Convention and Visitors Bureau, the dive on this day would be a replay of their previous tandem experiences. For this occasion, the IAFD, the International Association of Freedivers, invited judges of the AIDA, the International Association for the Development of Apnea, to observe this dive, making it the first tandem dive officially recognized by several freediving organizations. The eyes of the media were upon the divers as they warmed up for a colorful and exciting show. Pipin and Audrey completed their physical and mental preparation for the dive.
Menos 5. 5 minutes.
The moment had come, and everyone went silent, waiting for Pipin and Audrey's plunge into the warm, transparent waters. They breathed deeply, trying to steal all the oxygen they could from the atmosphere. With the city of Fort Lauderdale as their backdrop, they took breath after breath of air to make up for the time that they would spend underwater. Once they felt their lungs satiated with the precious gas, they pulled the cord and commenced their rapid descent into the abyss. They reached the bottom. They have achieved their goal. Now, they must return to the surface and claim their prize. They jet to the surface at an incredible speed and emerge to the cheers and applauses of those who awaited their arrival. .100 meters. The new inter-association world record in mixed tandem, no limits free diving. The next day, a true test of human endurance would take place. Audrey Mestre Ferreras would attempt to break her previous record of 413 feet by another 3 feet. Deep concentration was required to warm up. Audrey was preparing to go where few people have gone before and where no woman had ever gone. The spotlight was on her alone now, and the pressure to succeed was greater at the surface than at the depth that she would descend. A depth measurement device developed by ocean sensors would register the exact depth to which Audrey would descend. Every detail had to be watched carefully. The validity and recognition of this record had to withstand rigorous scrutiny. Everyone was in place. Now, Audrey had to fill her system with all the oxygen that could possibly fit in her lungs. The moment had come. It was time to break a record. Audrey glided effortlessly into the blue abyss and reached the bottom. In a flash, the balloon lifted her light body to the surface, where she was met by the cheers of friends and media. On May 19th, the year 2001, Audrey Mestre Ferreras has broken her own personal mark and shattered the world record in women's no-limit freediving in the great city of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This is a day that will live in history. Audrey Mestre Ferreras reached 130 meters, 426.5 feet.